YouTube. This is Master MCP.
This is a video that's going to be entailing the Raptor SD. I'll call it a year plus review of it, or long-term review. I do have a video on my channel talking about when I first bought it, what it looked like. Now I'm going to be talking about some of the things. It's got 64.8 hours on it, and I'm going to be talking about some of the things that obviously I like and some of the things I don't like, because you know that so I'm just going to go through a list of, again, things I didn't like, some things I did. I've got the Cadet finished up. It's of course I've got videos on it if you want to watch it. I just recently did an overhaul on it. I just hosed it off because it has like some grease and junk on it. And let's see if she's still running. This is a warm start, so it should just crank right up. It's fine. Again, still haven't used a choke on it. I'm gonna put some hours on it and see if that problem, if it fixes itself. Like I said, it could be water in the gas. I don't know. I want to talk about that more. Anyway, like I said, that's my pond mower. But that's one of the things I like to get to about this mower. This mower has given me zero problems. It has been fantastic. I've had two issues with the when I parked it on a slant or a slope. It would when I started it started billowing smoke out just a little bit, not much, but only 2 times it's ever done that. I just turn it off on the side of a hill and just leave it there. I had got a phone call or something like that, you know how it is, and it would just billow out smoke. So first of all, I'm gonna get out. I'm gonna go over the things I don't like. Then I'll go over the things I do like, which is the majority. I'll just go ahead and spoil it for you. And then I'll give a rating from 1 to 10 about what I think about the actual tractor itself. Some things I don't like. First off, probably the most thing that I don't like is the seat. The seat is very uncomfortable. Yeah, it gets you by. But if you're getting this for like an everyday use, you can use this commercially, it is pretty doggone heavy. I would opt and get the other seat, which I'm going to do. And the only problem is that seat's like $350, $375. Yeah, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. Now, I myself have put some money into this mower already. I've got a mulching kit, as you can see. The baffle's closed. Also went on ahead and got an engine shroud for it, which I think is a must on any of these mowers, just because you're always backing up and you can't see, you know. If you bump something, this is pretty thick metal. It's protecting your investment, at least the Kawasaki here. I don't want any of that stuff to get bumped or messed up. So that was, I want to say this was $80 off Amazon, maybe, or maybe it was Lowe's. I got it at Lowe's. It was fairly cheap. This was a 2015 model, in case you want to know, and it was the last year that they featured this engine on this model. And I guess I was fortunate because everything lined up in the universe for me to afford it. But anyway, so let's just go over some of the bad things. Like I said, number one's the chair. Get a better chair. You feel every bump in this thing. It does its job and it's fairly comfortable. But when you get hitting some bumps, it's not very forgiving. Number two, the actual chute for the deck. That's about it. And again, this only happened twice. While I was cutting in wet grass while it was raining, it would stop up. And you're thinking, well duh, it's gonna do that. Well, yeah, but I've seen, you know, where the exit hole is much larger on the commercial models, where it's cut out here all the way. It's just one big opening. And I figured that would be, you know, again, this is kind of, if you're using it every day, you don't need a small little hole like that. And it's been raining and you got to make money and you got to get out there and do stuff. You don't have time to worry about it clumping and then making a mess, or you just want it to kind of exit out, even if it's wet. So that's one thing to consider. Now, again, this only happened twice, and I've cut more than once in wet grass, so this was pretty thick stuff. And I'm not really gigging the mower. I was kind of impressed actually how much it did was able to handle. Another thing, I don't like the way that this is set up per se, and I like the setup. I just wish, can you see the letters there it has? I just wish it would give like the increments of inches as far as cut distance. To me, that would be easier than just remembering the letters on how high I cut it or how low. And here's what's odd: the way it's made, you would think that the higher the pin is, the higher it would cut, but it's the opposite. You know, the lower the letter, or the higher up you are, is the lower it'll cut. More high is down here. So that can be a little confusing. Just still takes a little bit getting used to. This is just, that's just a minor gripe. It's just a minor gripe. I've seen on some mowers where it does increments of inches, and I would kind of prefer that as well. Now, getting back to the old cubby, I got it down there at the house while I'm fixing to take it down there, used it on the pond. This is not really, I'm gonna fault the mower. I'm just gonna fault the design of the ZTRs. If you're gonna buy this and you've got hilly land, especially around water, either be extremely careful, or don't get one of these. Just get a tractor over there, the tractor style. These things slide, even with these big tires. They slide all over the place on a hill when it's wet. Remember the 2 times I talked about getting the deck stopped? Well, I almost went into the pond, and I give it credit. It's probably these big tires that saved me, and the fact of I got a little bit of traction, and I was able to steer it at the last second before ditching it, and it went right back up the hill. So I was very pleased. Also, if you're in these things and you get in trouble, just point it down and hit back. That's what I normally do. If I start sliding, I'll try to point straight down the hill and just start going backwards. And the problem with it is you're getting just kind of one tire in traction, but when you face it straight down the hill, you can use like a pause traction to have both wheels going in the direction that you want to go in. And that's just an emergency. Another thing is, if I'm on, say like if I'm on the cadet here, I'm around the pond, and I'm going along there, and something happens, where I'm leaning on it. Say I do a lot of leaning when I'm on, like on a hill or something, and something happens and I'm fixing to go in the pond. Well, I could just jump off, boom, I'm out. There's nothing constricting me. There's no kind of imminent danger that I'm fixing to lose the mower in the water. But this, again, I'm not getting on hustler for this. This is just the design. If you're thinking about getting a ZTR, be aware of it. When you pull these handles down, okay, and you're going along there and you got these handles out, and then something happens, all right, and they're out here, okay, and you try to jump off, these are going to stop you, or at least slow you down, and that's kind of a big deal. All right, again, on flat area, you can't beat a ZTR. You just can't. You take it slow, don't tear someone's yard up, and this mower, in my opinion, is so well balanced, it doesn't tear up yards. Now again, if you are going to flip the tires, yes, it will do that. I'm on my second oil change on this motor, and I'm fixing to do a change on the hydros, which I think after it says 70 hours, I need to get that done, and then after that, it's like, I think 200 or 400 hours or however long. It's for a long time after that. And I've got Mobile One, that's synthetic. It's 20W50, fully synthetic. It's a very expensive oil, so don't waste any of it if you can. And hopefully it'll make those hydros last a long, long time. But let me talk about the engine. What can I say? I mean, of course, it's about 18 months old. Of course, it's going to run good. It runs fantastic. Plenty of power, plenty of pep. It's not too loud. It's very smooth. And that's one thing about, I haven't really driven many other ZTRs. I had a laser X Mark that at work, or I used to use a while back, and it was nice, but the steering system on this particular model is so smooth, and the power is just like that. I mean, you just go. I love it. I love it. Other than the deck, the seat, and your height adjustment, that's about it. You know, you just kind of turn this and pull that. See that little notch just got to line up in there to be just right. I missed that on my actual initial, when I first bought it, and that's another problem. Sometimes getting that all the way through. And if you lose one, I'm sure Hustler will have one waiting at your store, your friendly neighborhood Hustler store, for a nice 50 feet. So be careful when you're transporting that. Sometimes that deck is bounced and it would come off. Just be aware of that. If you do a lot of transporting of your mowers and stuff. And I always like to use this right here to tie. This is just a regular old bungee, just one of these rubber ties here tied down, and I put it down like that just because when I'm transporting the seat, it'll bounce up and down. Everything is still good to go. The hydro low. I don't see any in there. Oh, another thing. I almost forgot the gas tank. Now it says, not full cold. It's not full though. Is it? It is not full. Anyway, I'm gonna put a little bit in there since it's cool. The gas tank, I think it's advertised at 3 gallons. Yeah, you can't fill it up 3 gallons. That's another kind of perk against it. I don't think you'll call it a perk against it, but a con against it. See that area right there? So that tank kind of goes up, and under this area, it's hard to get that to be full. Sometimes you have to shake it. Okay, oops. Get that feel. I don't want to use a funnel, I'm just kind of freestyling it. Like I just said, don't waste any. This is expensive stuff. And you're like, you're using the new fluid for that. You shouldn't. Okay. Do not top off. Okay, that's cool. And now we'll expand a little. Anyway, so that's it in a nutshell, guys. My final rating on this mower is probably a 9.8 out of 10, being almost a perfect buy. I am going to, I don't know if you can see that down there where you drain the oil out. I will probably do something to the effect. Eventually, like I've done on the Cup Cadet here. Well, I just bought 3/8 pipe, and I've got a valve. And I just take that plug out, hit that valve, and I'm good to go. No mess. This one will make a mess. But I'm not gigging, the design of the engine. That's just where it is on the mower. And some of the newer units, they have like this hose that comes out, and you just kind of pull the hose out and let it drain out. It's really handy and convenient. I guess they didn't think about that in 2015. Well, whatever, that's just a minor gripe. so that is my review of the mower. I have not cleaned it up. I didn't want to show you like, hey, look at this mower, and some kind of a false video. This is what it normally looks like. And I just hope she stays with me. Now that mower I've had for 18 years now, and it's just overhauled it and it's running. So hopefully this will stay with me. I'm hoping this will be the last mower I have to buy. But anyway, I would highly, highly, highly recommend the Hustler Raptor SD. I'm only speaking about the Kawasaki model, not the Kohler, was it 7000 series Pro that they put on their mowers now, which I think is a pretty good engine. It's just not Kawasaki, guys. That's all I can say. Kohler's gotten a bad rap, especially for the Courages. So I don't know. That was one of the selling points, was the actual engine, and that's when I was kind of disappointed in Hustler when they kind of dumped Kawasaki. Now the higher end models, that's what they all use, but the lower ends they went to the Kohler. So it is what it is. If you like Kohler, you'll be in great shape. But then again, you can't satisfy everybody. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope this was helpful for not only just for the residential guy, or maybe the person who's in business for themselves. Commercial use, this would be great. This is the 54-inch. Do I wish I'd gotten the 60-inch? Because I'm basically going to spend the same amount of money getting my nearly $400 seat and the $80 guard in the back. That was the difference, was $500. No, I don't. For one thing, I would have to buy a new trailer because my trailer couldn't accommodate the 60-inch. That's the only reason why I didn't get the 60-inch. And your blade tip speed's not as fast. So anyway, I think the 54 is a good fit for me. This is Master MCP signing out of my review of the Hustler Raptor ST. Thanks for watching.